Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and let's analyze this cinematic intro. So, right off the bat, let's address a few things. I was right about a couple of things. Haha, I was right. Aside from that, I was wrong on a couple things, and this thing was beautiful. It was 6 minutes long. We only had 20 seconds, and I already tore into a lot of things, and pretty much knew roughly what the entire video was going to be in just 20 seconds. Jesus Christ. And we got a full 6 minutes, and the 6 minutes were rather beautiful. As you can see right here, you have this young lady kind of drowning and waking up and realizing, oh shoot, I gotta get out of the water, with a view of the burning city in the background from just the swamps of Earth. And I was right, this is Earth. You are somewhere in the swamps, in the forest areas, and she's just kind of realizing that she's awake and oh Jesus, what's going on as she peers into a lake full of bodies, which is horrifying. There are little tidbits you can see in her design, her outfit. She is wearing a ton of operator pieces. Her sleeves are actually Zarmon pieces. They're just wrapped in bandages. Her hood, I don't know what that's from exactly, but I'm like, it might be in the game, it might not be in the game. But some people are freaking out on Reddit and Twitter saying, we need this. We need this now. We need this yesterday. And you can see the Grenier in the background, and they seem to be approaching her, and she tends to just run away. And it does kind of raise a few questions in a later bit. But you can see her running through Earth. She is escaping the Grenier, marching right through the swamps and the corpses. And then she progresses into an open plain and sees this golden tower, the remnants of an Orokin tower. And that's where this all kind of takes place. It all unfolds. It's very beautiful to see this done in such high fidelity. It's astonishing to know that this was done for the game, and if only the game can match up to most of this. The game looks great, and especially with the new engine that they're working with. Well, it's not a new engine, it's a new rendering engine, it's a new extension of the engine. So the engine's being reworked and redesigned and revitalized, and I hope that the game could bump up to 11 and look like this, just on par. But as you can see, our main three Warframes are sitting there in a circle and they're mossed over. These are pretty much old and abandoned. I had previously made an assumption that the girl was taking place in the past, but at the same time failing to realize that she was both in the past and in the present or the future. So she was there with the mossed over Warframes, and I did reference it, but I failed to acknowledge that I was referring to both in past tense and present tense, and it just didn't make sense because for Moss to set in, a good hefty amount of years would have to pass over, and she would not be as young and vibrant. Most likely, it wouldn't even be her. It would be later generations that would be seeing everything kind of mossed over and grown over to that degree, if that was the case, if she was in the past. But we do have a nice, lovely shot of how great the detail and the fidelity is on the Warframe and the Kubrow, and Jesus, that Kubrow is so highly detailed, it's amazing. We do have a Orokin ship kind of flying into the background, and you know it's an Orokin ship because it is white and gold. White and gold trimming is pretty much the cornerstone design of the Orokin Empire, and you can see that those gold trimmings, or in this case, the gold plating with the white trimmings, are on the Grenier. And these are Gen 1 Grenier. These are early iterations of the Grenier army, of the Grenier cloning process, when the genetic sequence was up to par. It was up to the maximum of standards where they were very healthy and there was no cellular degradation taking place. And you do have a little bit of these comical whimsy takedowns, and it is very refreshing and charming to see. But then you kind of have this whole sequence where Excalibur pans around and sees a whole base full of Grenier, which is more streamlined to what actually goes on in the game. You don't fight two, three, five isolated enemies. You end up fighting hordes, armadas, entire bases, an entire battalion of enemies at one time. And seeing all this movement, all these interactions and things, it just kind of leaves you wanting for more in the game. But it's beautiful, and players aren't very upset with that. They want this to be a full feature film, which is kind of unanimous across the board with a lot of creators and fans. The presentation of the Warframe, the weapons, the lighting, the setting, it's just breathtaking in all honesty. You see this young woman dropping these little lotus pods onto these Warframes. These lotus pods have some sort of hidden meaning or a greater meaning that I just can't put my finger on, and I could speculate for hours on what they could possibly be. And Mag, we have Mag flying around, and to the keen eye, you can see that Mag is flying around with an arc wing. She's not just falling through the sky or being wished away. She was on an Elytron arc wing, and it got blown up, just like arc wings do if you fly around too much and don't dodge those incoming missiles. And in regards to this power that Mag was using, it isn't in the game. It's not something that actually exists. The director of this entire cinematic movie, this entire cinematic intro, did some back and forths with DE, and they did confirm very loosely during 10 Live that this will be a power augment to Mag. Possibly we can get an entire rework to her again for the second time, and bring her back up to standards or make her even stronger. And some people might love that. Some people might hate it. It's like, why does Mag get more attention? She doesn't need it. To each their own. And then we have our little boy Blue over here, Volt, and Volt sequence is the most interesting one because it is completely in time stop. It does show off he has a ton of speed, which I kind of feel bad for him because his speed is going to get kind of overshadowed by Goss, and it, like, if he's moving at such speed where everyone's kind of standstill, can you imagine how fast Goss is going? Jesus Christ. But overall, I was right that this is Volt smacking around Daxes. You have him in clear view. Excalibur is just fighting Daxes, stabbing them, decapitating them, dismembering them, just obliterating them over and over. And it is very amazing to see. I'm gushing all over this CGI, the cinematic trailer. It's because it's good, and you do see everyone kind of just doing their bits and doing their best to just take out the army that's in front of them. And if we actually go back a little bit, you can see Volt is electrifying a couple of enemies in the background. This scene is actually recycled by the director in reference to a scene that you see when you first get to Cetus. You have these children running around in the background with Grineer masks and a Volt mask, and the one with Volt ends up turning around and shooting lightning, or pretend lightning, at the Grineer kids, and the patterns are 1-to-1, and that's a very charming little Easter egg detail right there, that it just kind of puts things all nice in a little bow. And speaking of bow, I wish my bow did that. I want those super arrows on my bow. Can we please have those super arrows, DE? Please. Super arrows for bow. Hashtag. Or hashtag super arrows. Yes. And as we finish up this annihilation of this armada, you see everyone kind of pulling out in this massive battlefield of death and destruction, which is pretty adequate of Warframe as a whole. And then you have the operators just popping out of the Warframes, just abandoning them and just leaving them there to get mossed over and forgotten. And this bit has me the most confused. The girl appears to be an operator, which is fine and dandy. You can tell she's an operator due to the somatic links on her head and the accessories on her ears, which are very clear indicators of Tenno, of operators. This entire transition of the camera going into her iris and swapping perspectives, kind of implying that this is our perspective, this is our story, as we see the three Warframes. But the Grineer just kind of walked past her wisping energy as if she never existed. So was she physically there? Was she not? Was it just kind of her spirit, her spectral form, and no one can see her? But overall, this does kind of, it builds up to lightning striking the three starter Warframes and the Lotus proceeding to say, wake up. And this is pretty much where the new player experience will start off. Whether or not it actually will involve a full quest line or something larger than that, I don't know. It'd be nice to see a full quest line for this. It would be refreshing to see more exhibition added to the game, more story being added, something to flesh out the beginning of the game. I don't know if this will overwrite and completely do away with Vor's Prize, or if this will be an addition before Vor's Prize. But any addition to kind of fleshing out the story is great. It's good. It will streamline the experience for new players, and that's never really a bad thing. Veterans kind of want other things. Older players want other things because the end game is a little bit lacking. But with what we saw of Railjack, I think most of those concerns can be put to rest, and they can kind of flesh out the beginning a little bit more, and people will be relatively fine. So, I don't know. You guys tell me, what do you think of this entire CGI trailer, the cinematic intro, this new player experience, redefined or revitalization? Are you guys excited? What type of things would you prefer to have seen? What type of things would you like to see added on top of this? And yeah, let's get a little bit of a discussion going on, implying anyone's left to the end of the video. Hello to my one viewer that's out there still watching. I know it's you. I appreciate you. But yeah, pretty much, guys. Take it easy, have fun, and see you guys in game, and possibly in a couple stream or two in the future. I'm still trying to figure out this pattern, the flow. What I might do, what I might not do. I am going to do a bit more videos here and there, but I also kind of want to incorporate streaming because I do have a bunch of friends, kind of like 7 people that still kind of keep in touch saying they want to see me stream again. So yeah, I'll see how that goes and what happens. So, bye.